Welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. I'm your host, as always, Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my good friends live via internet technology, Mr. Rich Ortiz. How you doing, sir?
I'm chilling, man. Excited.
You excited?
Eternals finally seen it, but we probably won't talk about it because Tallman hasn't seen it yet.
Tallman hasn't seen it
yet? I had a busy week, and I was watching a lot of live basketball. I know, not very geek culture,
What?
but yes, I know.
No.
Why?
Kick him out. Kick him off.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay, guys.
But,
Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy, everybody. Welcome also to Alto Games, Drew Tallman. Thank you, sir, for not doing your homework for today's show.
Hey, I literally everything else except for Eternals. I've seen. I saw the poster. Saw the. I even watched some Twitch streams today of Vanguard. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for not coming prepared today. Thank you very much. Okay. Appreciate it.
Movies are expensive.
Michaela Fig, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good.
I know you did not disappoint us, and you went to go watch it.
I watched it two times. One for me, one for Tallman.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You should have gave Tallman
okay.
that money.
That's all because of...
Wow.
What did he say? Wait, what did he say?
I said you should have gave Tallman that money so he could went and watch the movie.
Well, it's because I have AMC A-List.
Ooh.
Plus AMC A-List. It's amazing.
It's Netflix Live. That's what she has.
You watch a movie a month, it's paid for.
Okay.
At least like at IMAX or Dolby, it's done.
Someone who actually did his homework, though, of course, Mr. Tarek Lewis. How you doing, sir?
I kind of cheated. I had the answers before.
We did.
I took the PSAT. I took the PSAT thanks to Speedy.
Yes. We did see a preview of it.
You guys all had the battle pass. I'm over here. Play to win.
Yeah. Listen, I might be to meet Michaela. I might have to get the AMC pass because there's a lot of movies I want to see. Not just the movies that are reviewable by for our venue, but some nice. The theaters are coming back, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's time for the movie theaters to come back. What's the consensus, man? So let's see. I guess Drew will be the only person who hasn't seen the movie.
I'll go earmuffs this whole time.
Nah, I mean it's only been technically 4 days, so we shouldn't spoil the whole thing, but we should at least review it.
Yeah,
we gotta review it.
All right. So
I think we should spoil it.
Well,
my vote.
I do plan on seeing it this week, if that makes you guys feel
wow,
better.
You don't even give him a week, Michaela? Goddamn.
Michaela's like long hair, no hair.
If you're not about that life, you're not about it, right?
It's not like it's Avengers where everybody's like, oh, we're
listen,
all...
if it would have came out on Disney Plus, I would have said, all right, we should spoil it, but it's only in theaters, so I think we should give him at least 7 days.
I guess.
Thank you, Rich.
I guess.
Thank you for being reasonable, Rich.
If something happens, listen. Can we give it if something happens to leak out, it's on you for listening?
Yeah.
Right? Can we give them at least that? Listen. If something accidentally comes out, you had your warning.
Yeah, I agree.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Listen.
So, the world already knows mine and Turk's feeling about the movie because we did our audio exclusive podcast version of our review.
Saying the world is giving this podcast a lot of credit.
I'm trying. Okay? I'm trying to hyperbole it. All right.
It's not Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle on this motherfucker.
Come on, baby. We gotta sell them. We gotta sell them the dream. Okay.
To the real fans. You do have comic books on your ceiling, so you are definitely dedicated.
Well, they're posters actually. So no, not really. But
you ruined the fantasy.
I did. Sorry. Mr. Joey Franchise, how you doing, sir? I feel like I haven't seen in a month.
Joey.
It's good. I mean, it was just last week I was here.
Yeah, he was definitely on the show
last week.
He was
not here last week, was he?
He said that to me in the hallway, Joey. He was like,
in the building for Mortal Kombat.
He was like, we can't be sure if Joey's going to be here. And I'm like, Joey's been the last 3 times. Joey has been here.
Joey, did you see Eternals?
Yeah, I did.
give us your review. Here you go. Since
oh man, are you realizing something here?
Yeah.
Drew's the only person who hasn't seen Eternal.
Sorry, I'm not
so
a Marvel faithful. My bad.
Please don't spoil it for Drew. If you can try, okay?
Damn, really?
If
I
you
can't
do,
spoil it?
he did not come prepared for. He did not take today's homework.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
man.
I wasn't that hyped about the movie anyway, so if something does slip out, I won't be too offended. Let's put
How
it that
can
way.
you be hyped when you haven't seen 80% of the Marvel movies?
I've seen 95% of the Marvel movies. This is the only one
We
I
gotta
haven't
see
seen
you
yet.
guys. We gotta
Wait,
see Rich.
95%. What other Marvel movies have you not seen?
Well, okay, the 99. Well, okay, I don't know the exact mathematical equation as far as like.
No, I'm saying like, is there another Marvel movie you haven't
He hasn't seen
No, this
any
is
of
the
the
only one that I
Disney
haven't
Plus
seen yet.
shows.
No, I've seen all the shows now. I'm all caught up, Rich.
Okay.
He's caught up. Okay.
I've told
Joey.
you this 90 times.
We
just
gotta
missed
get
Eternals.
we gotta get Rich and Tallman in on a Mortal Kombat thing just on our podcast.
Nah, hell no. I want to Jake
That's how we're
Paul
gonna
this
handle-
shit. I want to
that's how
Jake
we
Paul
handle
this shit. We getting in the ring and we boxing.
Okay.
We boxing.
Are you sure about that?
I don't care. You might have reach, dog, but I'm quick.
That's the most Puerto
Too
Rican
quick,
shit to
my
say.
dick.
He said
That's a box.
he got the big legs of the cat and the speed of a mongoose.
Oh, man.
You
Oh
got the
man.
speed of a
So,
SIM card.
so Joey, if you would please be so kind as to not to spoil the movie, but if you do accidentally spoil
can
something,
review it.
we will not blame you. Okay?
He's shit out of luck if I slip up and spoil something.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
So here's my thing with it. I didn't think it exactly did what I thought it was gonna do. I knew it was visually gonna be on point. Very how do you say it was very very artsy. You know what I mean? Like I feel like just the way like the fluidity of the whole entire movie, just the way everything looked. It was very
Cinematography.
Yeah, the cinematography was definitely on point.
Roger Deakins?
So overall, I gave it like a 7 out of 10. Because I knew exactly what I was gonna get when I saw this movie. I knew it was not gonna be like every other Marvel movie we saw. I was surprised at how much action we got. I think we got a fair amount of action. I didn't really like the big bad of the movie. I liked the twist and turn, the plot twist towards the end. That caught me off guard.
Yeah, I like the plot twist actually. I was like, okay, dope.
I was very impressed because that threw me for a loop. I didn't expect that. I didn't see that.
Me too.
The post-credit scenes were here. I'm not amped for a sequel. I mean, if it drops, obviously I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not. I was hyped for this movie because of what I thought it would entail, which I thought we would get introduced to mutants, which I will say not gonna happen. I mean, it's probably still an option. We didn't get that kind of Easter egg to how X-Men is gonna be introduced or anything like that. It's really its own story within the MCU. And they tried to show like, oh, we're part of the MCU. See, we're mentioning Captain America. We're mentioning Avengers. We're mentioning like did those little winks at us to let us know that this is still an MCU movie. But overall, I wasn't like as the movie built up, and then I knew it wasn't gonna be what I'm thinking it's gonna be. Right. And I sat in the theater and I just enjoyed it. And I thought it was an okay movie. It was a solid movie. Not the best, not in my top 10, probably not even in my top 15.
Wow. Okay.
But it's okay. I think it's a step. I think it's a step above Thor Dark World.
Dark World.
Okay.
I'll give it more than
a step
that.
above that.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'll give it more than that. Thor Dark World's the worst one in the MCU.
Did they hit us with drugs when we went to go watch the movie, Tarek, or something?
Thor Dark World.
Did we get drugged before we watched it?
Hey.
Oh shit!
Is that why we like that so much? I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Thor. But here's the thing: like, what made you kind of, sort of appreciate somewhat of Thor: The Dark World is how Avengers Endgame made it matter, because I think Marvel knew how terrible the movie was and how bad it was, rated. But I think they gave a newfound sort of appreciation. Still a bad movie, or bad out of the MCU, and bad out of the MCU is like a C-.
Hold on, but you're saying this is a step above it. So are you saying this?
So it's like it's a C?
It's a C.
Yeah.
It's a solid C for you.
Movie.
I mean, he did say 7 7 out of 10 is a C.
All right.
It's a C movie. I mean, I give For the Dark World about a 5.5. So
let's all be honest. We're all in radio because we're C students. We'd be doing something else.
Michaela, you a C student. Tell us your review of Eternals.
I really enjoyed the movie. I loved it, honestly, for what it was, because going into it, I didn't go into it saying, oh, this is a Marvel film. Like, this is a Marvel film. It's going to set up something else. I just saw it as another film, and that's where the last time we spoke about how it's a mixed feelings about it, and all the ratings had come out already because the previews already had started. But I really do think that it was better than I expected. Honestly. That Chloe did a really good job with explaining, in this short amount of time that we did, explaining who the Eternals were on Earth and what their purpose was, and the twists and the turns, and they weren't afraid to like kill people off. But with that being said, I don't know if it's for real or true or not in the end, because they are Eternals after all. So I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and after watching it the second time, I enjoyed it even more and felt more of the emotion instead of just focusing on just like, oh, they're moving here and they're moving there. There's a lot of movement going on, but when you watch it again, it just kind of just all makes sense, and it just goes well together.
Talk your shit, Michaela.
I know, right?
Talk your shit.
I'm really excited for a sequel, because I'm not going to spoil anything, but what we saw in the end credit scenes, I was really excited for, because it showed us things that it didn't have characters that knew were in the MCU already, which I had a fear that it would, because we're all excited for Spider-Man, but I'm glad it wasn't like, oh, here's Doc Ock showing up, like something stupid like that. Which, although Doc Ock is not stupid, it's like one of my favorite.
So you didn't like the Spider-Man cutscene?
What?
I'm just kidding.
I was like,
wait, what?
I'm gonna spoil something. In the cutscene, it starts off. It's like the end of Rocky 3, but instead of Apollo Creed and Rocky, it's Tallman and Rich Ortiz about to spar off in the ring. That's what happens in the cutscene. They're in on the beef. They know there's conflict.
Oh man, Rich Ortiz, speak your truth, my friend. Tell us how you feel about the movie.
So I'm on this with Joey, as in I give it a 7 out of 10. I agree with that. But the more that I think about the movie, the more I start to like it. Like kind of what Michaela said. I thought it was really cool the way that they kind of involved the history of like the world into the Eternals. And the movie also did exactly what I thought what it was going to do, which was expand the universe to see exactly how big it was. I'm not going to say how they did that, but with the way that they did it and showing that, there are multiple universes out there, and the way that the Eternals kind of played a part in how the universes were actually getting bigger was actually a really good story. I didn't think that that was going to be an important part for me. But I also thought it was really cool how they made you think that the villain was one thing, and then towards the end of the movie, you couldn't really even tell who the villain was at all. Yeah. I thought that was one really cool aspect of it. But one gripe that I have to give, and I've said this before, is like I don't do big with all CGI villains, man. The all CGI villains, well, that just bothers me. I feel like it. I'm just a little bit more invested when the villains are actually played by like human actors and that. So I think that's one thing that I have to say about it. Also, too, man. I'm also noticing that I can't really say who the villain is, but all these villains are starting to look the same. Steppenwolf. What
do you mean?
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The evolving Deviant and Steppenwolf look like brothers. They're twins. Like these 21st century superhero villains and 21st century cars are the same, man. They're all starting to look the same. They're
It's
all
Spider-Man.
starting to look the same.
Spider-Man movie's coming for you, okay? Rich, don't worry, okay?
I'm just saying.
Don't get on this show and disrespect the new Ultima.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. The 2022 Ultima.
So,
but listen. I like the movie. I like the movie, even with the CGI, the villain and all. The movie was good. I think it expanded the cutscene at the end. It also kind of gave me the same thing as Venom. I thought the movie was worth watching for the cutscene at the end. Not saying Eternals was bad, but as it falls in with the entire MCU and everything, I think that, the movie wasn't. They hyped this movie up, acting like it was going to be such an integral part of Phase 4, and I think it was just a setup movie. Just going to be honest, but it was still good.
I agree. I agree with you on a setup movie. So, Alto, have you heard of everything? Are you hyped or about this movie now?
Honestly, I'm unmoved. Because I
You'll live if you don't.
Let me give before he even speaks.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me give
a recap of our feelings about.
Let me give my poetic. I know Alto. He didn't watch.
He didn't watch what?
He didn't watch our review, Speedy.
Here he'd have to listen to it.
I mean, he don't even watch the movie, let alone the review.
Yeah, he does not follow us on Facebook, Instagram. He's
It's the only Marvel thing I've yet to see so far.
My man only watches things if it says Doom in front of it. Let's be real.
False.
I might just switch up to Doom, but we'll talk about that later.
It says Denis Villeneuve. Yes, I'm kidding.
What Rich was saying is true. Like, it does not change the Marvel universe, but it does expand it. So it's not part of what you have been watching. It is something completely new. So it is a setup. So the advertisement saying,
oh, good.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, so does it feel kind of like an upgraded version of like the Phase 1 era, where the Phase 1 movies were more establishing new things. Like, they weren't as great as they are now as far as like the quality of the films, but like as far as like
this movie is more like Captain America: The First Avenger than it is like the Avengers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. So okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't love the Phase 1 movies, but I think
what it also does too is, like, they're the Avengers, and you see how powerful the Avengers are, and like everything they dealt with. And the Eternals just takes the Avengers and makes them look like a bunch of bitches.
Wow. I don't know. I disagree with that too.
I disagree with that.
I don't know, man.
It's a different level. It's levels.
I think that's what they were trying to do. I think that they were showing you, like, all right, Avengers is one thing.
Scrappy ragtag group.
And it's like everybody was wondering why the Eternals didn't help the Avengers. And I felt like
because they're more lit.
It's because that's light work.
It was beneath them.
That's light work to the Eternals, my G. Like, the Eternals are like,
it's like, why doesn't WWE help WCW?
Oh, man.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a little experiment. I'm gonna run through really quick all the MCU films.
All right.
Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America: The First Avenger, Marvel's The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, then Ant-Man, then Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Endgame, and Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals.
Did you say
Tariq Kareed, everybody? Tariq Kareed. Let's go.
Eternals is better than at least 7 or 8 of those movies.
Oh, yeah, solid. Okay.
Yo, what we should do is do an entire show dedicated to our rankings of the MCU movies.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right.
We need to get on a big board, get together, get some pizza, and fucking throw these movies on the board and let's rank them.
Okay.
Eternals is better than Black Widow. It's better than Thor 2. It's better than Iron Man 3. It's better than Guardian. Here's my next
Here's my next toxic question about the Eternals.
Toxic.
Yes. Is this one of those movies that's gonna turn into like a cult classic? Like they'll be talking about people and be like, "Oh my God, Eternals was so great because you guys don't understand."
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like the next Justice League or the Snyder Cut. Like I mean, come on. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No. I'm going to say no just because we are getting a sequel to it. And usually if something's a cult classic, it really doesn't see past the first movie. And also, I think you guys are going to fall in love with it more once we see a sequel to this movie. I think you guys might appreciate it a little bit more when we see what's going to happen next. Because my hope is that one thing I wanted to say to Tallman before, or Alto before, well, you know, when Tarek was saying about that it felt like phase 1 in the sense of more like a Captain America, I would say just disassociate, like don't even think about Marvel when you go into it. Just watch
that's exactly what I meant though when I made my phase 1 comment, because like it's everything for the Infinity Saga was set leading up to Endgame, so I mean this is like its own new thing essentially, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily resetting the series, but yeah.
I think even when you saw phase 1, you knew of it being Marvel.
Yeah.
And it being a superhero film. And I think you should just see this film as a movie lover.
Okay.
I think people associate it with the MCU. This is like Cosby Show, different world. Like, it's not the same. Like, you can't, and I think some people are disappointed because they wanted tie-ins and clues and continuations, and it's not that. It's a whole new story. And I find the new characters and their lives and what happened to them and what's going to happen to them and where they go afterwards, I personally find it interesting. And I think it's very difficult to take, I think there's not 9 characters and make you interested in them. And they happen to do it. So I find that impressive. The fact that I even care what happens to them at the end is very much impressive, because they didn't take them individual movies, which is a harder dig on DC for not being able to do it.
Well, as far as like making you feel for the characters, would you say that's more so than like Guardians of the Galaxy did, or on par with? Or?
I would
think
say
on par with.
I would say it would probably be on par with, because Guardians of the Galaxy, you didn't really get the Peter Quill thing. You didn't really feel like you felt for Peter Quill in the first one, but you didn't really feel for
until
him
Volume 2.
Until Volume 2.
Gotcha.
This one, you felt for everybody, because, again, without saying anything that ruins the plot of it, it was kind of like they kind of did the same thing. You kind of got the same sense when you watch the trailer for this movie and everything for this movie. You kind of have an idea of one thing of what it's going to be about, and then when you actually watch the movie, like, I'm trying to say it without ruining it.
Real talk.
Another thing, would you say that the marketing for this movie failed in a way, or no?
No, I think it didn't fail. It was actually really good.
It's making a lot of money. Still,
stuff they reveal in the market. Marvel did their classic, what I thought would Endgame, when they show like, I think Hulk like running through Wakanda.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually
Hulkbuster.
They
catfish us. They mess with us.
Stuff in the trailers, they changed it in the movie. You're like, they're not actually saying that.
Gotcha.
In the movie, which makes the movie better. It makes it make more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I bring it up.
I wanted to say something about the characters you feeling the connection within them, and you have emotion towards it. Is that they did a really good job, and like I said on my previous review, that just example in the beginning, the first 10 minutes, you see them arrive to Earth, and then it goes to present day, and they're showing the cause and the effect of a lot of things that's happening in present day and how it originally started in the past. So you're seeing each of these characters and what they were like back thousands ago, and then what they're like today. So you see the connections that they've built, or you see the troubles that they're going through in just a short spurts of time. And then you start feeling for them, because they make an Eternal feel like a real human, as if they were your friend. So I don't know. That's how I felt like I really connected with the story.
I agree. They all have very distinct personalities. If you look at Hawkeye and Black Widow, besides the fact that they're male and female,
they're the same person.
You get the same feeling of the character. There's a reason they didn't
the word I'm looking for.
Partnership.
Yeah, it's like a partnership that they have. You know, it's like
no, not the partnership. I'm saying
comradeship.
The same archetype.
Yeah.
And just the reason they didn't
they're
put
both just
Gambit,
well-trained humans.
Yeah, they didn't put Gambit in the original X-Men movie because they were like, he's too similar to Wolverine. Well, the Eternals, all these characters are very distinct. And it's amazing to be able to do that with 9 people. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he complained about this. I'm like, they're like, hey, Angelina Jolie in there, and they didn't use her. I like that. Because to me, that's the problem with the Fox movies, is that they had Jennifer Lawrence, so they were like, well, let's make Mystique a large part of everything because we got this big star.
Let's make Mystique a main character.
Yeah, like so the Eternals is like, we have Angelina Jolie, but so what? We don't give a shit. She has 9 kids.
But you appreciated her.
Use her when we can.
You appreciated when she had her dialogue and when she had her scenes.
Yeah.
Like you didn't get too much of her. It didn't feel like forced because we got to throw this amazing actress in your face because she's just amazing. So we got to make her character just as amazing as she is. So she played her position, but like every time she was on screen, like it made you wanting more of that character because she was badass. So the times when she wasn't on screen, you appreciated more because I felt like the story was rich. Like it had a very rich story. I like I said, I landed it where I landed it because of I just didn't feel. I felt like there was like some little plot holes, and there's certain things about their origin story that I wasn't really feeling too much. Like I really don't. I didn't dig the whole we don't interfere unless it's a deviant involved type thing. I hate that. That is annoying because like
it's such a cop out.
Thanos.
It's like with
it is a cop out.
Captain Marvel.
It's like, okay, we're gonna introduce these guys, but here's the reason that they didn't do all these things before is because they couldn't.
Yeah, but I think that was also an important part because that was the whole reason why they kind of broke up a little bit is because there was that whole struggle between...
Well, yeah, Druig wanted to help, and he wanted to control and stop wars and stuff like that.
And then everybody
here come the spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
What did I say? I said we were going to try, right?
That's not a spoiler, though. That's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
Anyway, so before we completely ruin the movie, let's last question. So we're spoiling stuff already. Let's spoil this, Tarek. This won't really spoil anything. Are you ready for my question?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What was that voice at the end? I think it was.
I know.
It's like
Easy.
this is a spoiler.
Michaela told me
the
this.
very end of the movie.
I think it was the Watcher.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
They already confirmed.
Okay,
I'm gonna stop.
All right, but I don't want to know that. I don't want to know
I
that.
thought it was the
I gotta
Watcher.
give Michaela credit. Michaela is the one that told me who it was.
Yeah?
I don't know where she learned it from.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll ask her at work tomorrow.
Chloe Zhao.
What?
She's
It's
not the voice.
Barack
She's the one
Obama.
who
At
makes
the
the
end of the
voice
movie,
much.
Barack Obama is like, you might not want to do that.
There was a lot of bass in that voice. I don't know.
So I will say that I originally when I saw it Thursday night, like at 10 o'clock, and I 100% the entire time from Thursday to Friday morning was convinced it was the Watcher. Convinced.
Really?
And
So
then
that whole 4 hours.
Friday morning, I see Michaela and she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. It's Blade! It's Blade! God damn it!
It's not a big spoiler. You're just saying what the voice was. No one knows what the voice.
The voice.
Nobody knows what it's gonna be until they
it's
actually watch it. So.
Ali, and he says, "I don't think you want to do that." And
I don't even believe in none of that, bro.
It is Blade, bro.
You sure?
Yeah.
Don't get mad about it.
I'm mad because it would have been cool if it was the Watcher, but whatever.
Man, the Watcher
because he's already messing with
stuff.
He stopped watching already.
The Watcher
I
got
have
his
to say
shine
this.
during the Guardians of the Multiverse, bro. That's it. Watcher's done, my guy.
Watcher, another
recorded
person who
the
couldn't
audio.
intervene, by the way.
I recorded the audio when I was in the theater, and I'm not going to play it with Alto's
Damn,
here,
Michaela,
but I
you're so dedicated. Oh my
recorded it
goodness.
because I needed
Legal.
Copyright infringement like a bitch.
Hold on, let me delete that from the audio
I
version of this.
Oh, stop! It doesn't matter because I didn't record it physically. Think about all the people that record record people's reactions.
Yeah, but they're not dry snitching on themselves on Twitch, though.
Oh, then it's so much money to the movie theaters. And I'm plugging. Just have to say. It doesn't matter. I wanted to also hear people's reactions because the first time I watched it, the theater hated the movie.
Really?
The entire theater was all mad. They were all talking to each other, saying they watched the worst Marvel movie they've ever seen, and that the hype was too it was too much hype about the movie. I do
agree with the hype, man. I think again, and we're all very spoiled because we're watching these movies and we keep on comparing them to each other instead of just watching them for what they are.
Like if it was a standalone, it'd be.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But we have like 40 movies out now, so everybody just keeps on comparing one to each other. But I think again, it was good. But I spoke with Michaela about this too. The other cut scene, which is a cameo, I think it's a concept that I don't know if they'll use it, but it would be really cool because they brought this person in for the cut scene. I think it would be really cool if they did more cameos having other people as different Eternals in different universes. I think that would be kind of like what they do with Deadpool showing up in different Marvel movies. I think if they use the Eternals and had different actors play different Eternals as a joke, I think that would be a really cool concept that they could use for Eternals.
Okay, here's another question though. If it were a DC movie, do you think it would not be as mixed reviewed or whatever? Do you think people would have liked it more if it were a DC release?
If this movie were New Gods, if this movie were New Gods instead of Eternals, everyone would be happy.
That's okay. So I guess that answered my question because everybody's comparing it like you said with how there's 40 Marvel movies or whatever it is. We're comparing it to this long lineage of just strong movies. So I mean, with DC,
and this is a cosmic, and this is their first dive into really going, they're really gonna start diving into these cosmic stories. Mm-hmm. So this is I think the first of many more cosmic stories to come. I mean, Guardians worked, Thor's been working. This is a brand new story being told in space and from cosmic characters, celestial things like that. So it's something brand new. So it's kind of tough for some fans to digest. And I knew this was going to happen because I think this is going to be the craziest phase of all of them. This is going to be the toughest one out of all of them because now you're hitting you're sort of soft rebooting, the MCU a little bit. Now you're trying to venture off into
a new season.
Characters.
It's a new season of Marvel. There you
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
players have changed. Some players have retired.
This is the Better Call Saul of Breaking Bad. You're like, I want Better Call Saul. You're like, see, and then I wouldn't even say Better Call Saul. This is more so like American Horror Story.
I was literally gonna say American Horror
Story. Because everybody
was gonna say that.
Because everybody thought in the beginning American Horror Story they were all gonna they do kind of coincide with each other. Yeah. But every season is a little different and they don't really go with each other. I mean, in the bigger picture, yes, they do. But their stories don't align like that. And
I'm going to say this. This film sets up, if you ever wanted to do a Thanos backstory, or if you ever wanted to do Silver Surfer, or if you want, if
this is Galactus territory too.
Deep stuff.
There's so many things it sets up because it expands the universe a little more than Captain Marvel did. Captain Marvel gave you a peek of the Kree and the Skrulls, and this is the universe is so big, and whatever happened on what was the planet? What's the place that Thor is from? I forgot the name all of a sudden.
Asgard.
Whatever happened on Asgard, those are just little. We all know about Asgard. It's not a mystical place to us. We all know about Asgard. We all know about the Kree. We all know about the Skrulls. We all know about Celestials. I'm sure we know about the Watcher. It opens that up. And I think it's a great way to open it up. I think most people thought it would open up with the new Thor movie and the new Guardians of the Galaxy. But Guardians of the Galaxy did need because they're such great characters. Those characters are so great. They do need a larger universe to operate within, and Eternals kind of gives us that, while still being partially on Earth.
Yeah,
I
guarantee it's more for everybody. I'm not mad at a 7 out of 10. I give it an 8.5 out of 10, but I'm not mad at a 7.
Ooh, generous.
Yeah,
I did that. Yeah, I did that.
That although this feels new, and I like for people, like I've said it a million times, that people should go into this as if it's something new, and don't think about the MCU when you're going into it.
Right.
But we're not. It's not new in the sense of we saw Thanos. Thanos is an Eternal. Like I don't know how people could be like, oh well, why are they bringing these Eternals in now? I'm like, well, we saw the end of Thanos. It kind of makes sense that they would bring the Eternals in next to kind of expand on the bigger universe, the bigger picture, and show that Eternals are more than just Thanos.
It's
But
deep.
also-
Yeah, the thread is deep. Real quick, my bad, Rich.
No, go ahead.
And it's funny because you look at Thanos a little bit differently after watching this movie, because all the the billions of people that live on Earth was enough energy to let that celestial that was growing within the planet grow. And I'm sorry, also I'm spoiling because this is like a lot of stuff we got to dive into.
I'll forget it.
But yeah, like so
Tarek, hold on, okay?
So if you think about it, if Thanos hadn't snapped half, all existence in the universe, that celestial would have popped out regardless, like at some point. Because
sure.
I think Thanos after the snap bought, Earth and the universe or whatever a bunch of time.
5 years.
5 years before the celestial within Earth or in other universes hatched. So in a sense, Thanos was like right. In a sense, like, he was right for doing what he did.
Think of it
Thanos
as a
is
what
bad
if
guy,
episode.
but is he bad guy?
Now this
Think
is
of the movie as a what if episode. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
but not even just that. Now, do you think a little bit differently of Thanos now because of what this movie represented? Like, is it?
I kind of
Did
Can I spoil some more?
Thanos know
Can I
before?
spoil the premise?
Did Thanos know before that they were actually birthing Celestials through planets? Like, is that a thing?
I think he did because he's an Eternal.
He's an Eternal, but not all Celestials think the same.
True, and I think Irsham is
All have the
lying.
same.
I think Irsham the judge was lying too. Is lying to this to lie to the Eternals about like some of the story. I think some of the stuff he kind of embellished.
Well, he lied to all of them.
Why? I'm gonna spoil it. Sorry, if you want to cover your ears, you can. But this is why
Earmuffs.
We tried, ladies and
So-
gentlemen.
We're 40 minutes in. It was spoiling shit after 40 minutes. Fuck it.
Arrows showing up is going to be amazing because now they're going to see other Eternals because they know other Eternals are on different planets.
Right.
But he might actually bring some light, although it might be partly false too, because obviously it's arrows. It's arrows, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm excited for now. Guardians is filming right now. Today was the first day. Just wanted to say that.
Go.
And I think Arrows is showing up in Guardians as well because a little hint is after the end credits scene that Arrows showed up, they played a Foreigner song. So come on, that can't be more of a hint to James Gunn.
The idea of Eros interacting with Quill, and it's hilarious. Just off top, Eros interacting with Quill and the new Gamora,
hitting on
a lot
Gamora.
of possibilities. It's just not the names that most people are most familiar with. People are most familiar with Captain America and Iron Man, Thor, and they're expanding it. And for real comic book fans, they're like, okay, this is the real like in the Infinity Gauntlet story. All these other characters.
I mean,
so I think my opinion. I think me and Mikhail talked about this. Maybe me and Rich did too. Earth is going to be Secret Wars.
Yep.
Like
That's
Earth
happening.
is going to
That's
be about
happening.
the Secret Wars situation, and out there is going to be Eternals and New Asgard and Adam Warlock and
get ready.
we're going to get those two things, and at some point they'll come together.
Yeah.
But you're going to get two separate. It's not going to be all about Earth and Earth
What?
Heroes.
And I think that was the whole point.
Yeah, here you go. For all you people don't know what's coming next, here you go. This is what's coming next. Look.
Why do you have that available to you?
Yeah.
You are way deeper into this than we are.
and that's the whole point. That's what I wanted to show. So there's just so much lore, and there's so much different ways that they can go and combine and you know freak everything for the actual movie version. But
no,
so
Speedy,
much
you're just trying to sell your fucking comic books. Stop it.
I'm surprised you didn't show no Robotech in there, bro. I think one thing is, and I kind of touched on it before, and Tarek said it too. This is supposed to expand the entire universe, not even just one universe, universes, because that's the whole thing about the movie. It's supposed to let you see just on a scale. This is just one universe compared to the infinite universes that are out there. And
that's a good segue, Rich.
Yes, it is. And I think Spider-Man is just going. I think Spider-Man is just going to expand the multiverse even more, so that people see that there are so many possibilities as to what can happen.
Does everyone think that the new poster? Does everyone think that the new poster is too much of a spoiler?
Let's talk about this janky ass poster.
No.
I'm sure there's going to be even more than that. That's an actual movie, though.
I think it was a little too much. I was cool with the sand and the lightning, but you know the little sprite of you know, if you look really closely into the.
Can you explain to people like you just said that we're not all.
Should I show it?
Right
Should I show it right here?
Show it.
Show the poster. It's on Instagram.
Darn it. Gosh,
it's
everywhere.
Everybody's excited.
Everywhere.
It's on.
I thought the poster was mad mid, bro. That was a mid-ass poster.
But listen, if they're showing,
they're
showing that in the poster,
but there was that poster, and then there was.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nuts.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
there's gonna be so much more under the surface. Yeah.
There was that poster.
Probably in the next week or so, another trailer, because the next Sony film to come out is Ghostbusters, and that comes out next week. So hopefully we'll get a second trailer before Ghostbusters hits theaters.
Yeah. I think they're gonna release it before Ghostbusters for sure, because then it's gonna already be attached to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Right. Gotta watch it.
You guys don't think that the new the new show on Disney Plus, Hawkeye, you don't think that they're gonna kind of
possibly because he's in New York already? Yeah, he's in New York.
Exactly.
That might actually hint at that.
So there you go.
But I don't know where in the timeline that lands though.
Also, I'm getting very
it's
Nintendo,
Christmas.
like original NES, like cover art vibes from this.
So there was an original poster that had the arms and had the Iron Spider suit with the arms in the back behind him.
Yeah, it was on a bus or something in Asia or something.
What was up with that poster?
Let me just say it right now, man. I'm out on these fucking Spidey suits. I'm a Spider-Man fan, and we went to the Spidey suits too fast, man.
It's a recent thing. The Spidey suits are a recent thing, Terry.
We didn't really get to see his actual spider abilities too much. We saw his actual spider abilities in one film, and all of a sudden, this motherfucker's wearing Spidey suits. It's way too fast for me. Like, I don't want to see Spider-Man in fucking Iron Man suit. I know
they need to sell the toys.
Yo, I get it, man. It's trash. This is why I fuck the movies, man.
But you remember back in the day when like Batman Returns came out or Batman Forever and all these different Batman suits came out that were not in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man actually, like if I was a kid, if I'm a kid now and I'm buying toys, yes, I see Green Goblin in the background.
Yes, Green Goblin is there.
Yeah. That's one of
the actually trying to sell comic books.
I'm happy.
Hold on, so obviously the sand, the thunder for Shock.
Sandman, Electro, Goblin, and
Electro.
Octopus. I thought they would put Lizard in there, but I guess they're gonna save it for the movie.
Well, maybe that's
no Paul Giamatti as Rhino. Come on.
People
no,
are
there's
saying
no
that
Rhino in the movie. They confirmed that.
But people are saying that
I need my Paul Giamatti.
I mean, this right here. That what is that? This little in the right hand corner.
Now
there?
I'm over here looking at it, Matt, close. Like,
Yeah, they're saying that this is Mephisto right here in the right-hand corner.
It's not Mephisto.
You are the worst, dog. Don't even get that energy. Don't even zoom into that. If you don't get
my
JFK
zoom in more. Hold up.
It's
a Zapruder film.
Zooming into him more. Hold up.
That little thing of orange.
Yeah,
guys, actually, Speedy, zoom back out. If you zoom in, look, zoom out, zoom in to the left. Look, zoom into the top left.
Top left.
Yeah, top left. Yeah, keep going. Top left.
My God, it's raining.
You see
that little?
You see that little white dot?
John Cena.
It's John Cena. No. That is actually the lizard science coat right there. There you go. That's the lizard. There we go, guys.
It's Unicron from Transformers. They're merging the universes. It's actually that's Moon Knight.
No,
that's actually Moon Knight. Seriously, get the fuck out of here.
Madam Web.
I think
Madam Web. In her little chair.
Just as much as I think that Spider-Man is going to expand the multiverse and the universe, I also think Spider-Man is gonna play a part kind of like X-Men. I think this movie is going to kind of reset the entire multiverse and everything's going to change.
I'm so unintrigued.
I just want to know. I want to know the timeline. Like when this happened, I want to know like where everything else landed.
I'm assuming. Well, I know. Well, obviously the movie picks up right after Far From Home, but where all the other movies like lie and like where maybe Hawkeye is in this time. I mean, that'd be interesting to find out when the Hawkeye
in the shows.
Yeah,
that show and the other shows. Sorry, that's what I meant.
I think the multiverse is all a ploy to make Mary Jane a ginger again.
Wow.
She's been black for too long.
Yeah.
Racist behind the whole thing. That's just my opinion. That's my personal opinion. No. They Kevin Feige revealing his true colors.
Right?
So awful.
I think to kind of like go on what you said, Tarek, I think we're going through the Spider-Man I think we're going through all the costumes quickly and all the suits quickly, but I think that the multiverse is actually going to be reset after this movie, because I think the multiverse is going to go out of whack for a second, and then it's going to go back into one linear timeline. Mm-hmm. But that timeline is going to be a little different now.
Listen, there have been two characters in Marvel that have the most identity crises, and it's been Iron Man and Spider-Man. Yeah. And Iron Man's gone, so Spider-Man is going to go through his identity, and that's part of his lore. Mm-hmm. Is he never knows who he is. Am I an Avenger? Am I a big-time superhero? Am I a street superhero? Am I with Daredevil and them, or I'm with Thor and everybody else? Do I want to be Spider-Man? You know, he's the one that goes through all the identity crisis. So I like that part.
And it's also made.
But I hope at the end, because we never did get a Spider-Man origin story. I don't think we need it for this Spider-Man. I don't think we've done it so many times. We all know, but I'm hoping that at the end he comes to, I'm this Spider-Man, and this is what I'm going to operate in. And then you bring in Venom.
Yup.
I'll be hyped for that.
I think the cut scene at the end of this Spider-Man is going to have to do with Venom.
And for all of Venom's flaws, they definitely set up that Venom would leave Eddie.
Yep.
For a better partner. So that'd be a great setup if Venom was like, I'm out, Eddie. Peter Parker's my guy. He appreciates. Spider-Man.
He did try to lick him through the TV.
Yeah, he did try to lick him. And I did that once in '94 with a Tyra Banks poster.
Not the Lil' Kim hardcore poster?
Not the Lil' Kim. Because I thought that was too raunchy. Tyra Banks was classy.
I was more of a Topanga guy, so you know that's where I was at.
No love for Kimberly Pink Ranger. Okay, whatever.
I met Kimberly the Pink Ranger.
Nah,
she was in you, Tarek. Yeah, she was in your movie.
Right. She led my man the Blue Ranger.
You've been alongside.
I led Billy on, bro. Joey's hung out with the Black Ranger. We just need Tallman, Michaela, and Rich. Y'all got to meet a Ranger. and then we'll have all 5.
me and Joey met the Black Ranger.
Yo, you brought me the Black Ranger. I didn't get the footage.
I brought the Black Ranger to the club, bro.
Yeah.
First DJ to bring the Black Power Ranger to the club.
He brought the black Ranger to the club.
And the Red Ranger.
And he had a lineup this time.
Yeah,
he had a lineup this time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Red Ranger is Puerto Rican too. So. This got out of control. This became a race war. I apologize.
I met me and Speedy saw the Red Ranger at Comic-Con.
Which one?
I think so.
Is it Rocky or the other one?
Tommy?
It was the first one.
Wait, no, Tommy's the white. Yeah.
That's Jason.
Jason, yes, Jason.
Well, speaking of Ghostbusters, let me get the show back on track.
Ghostbusters.
Mikhail was so annoyed. She's like,
I'm like, I don't know what to say. But I did want to say one thing about Spider-Man. My belief is this is just the gateway for him to leave the MCU. He might leave Spider-Man. Wow. I just don't think he's gonna really
Spider-Man to Uncharted
be in the MCU
That's clearly
anymore.
Gonna be a franchise.
I don't think he's gonna be in the MCU.
Tom Holland. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not swagger jacking because he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character. I could turn my thing around Spider-Man pictures all around here, but I think Tom Holland is actually a really good actor. I don't know if people know this. And he has a lot of franchises he can helm.
Yeah.
Like you brought up Uncharted, and I think he actually has a decision to make. I don't think he's leaving, but I can see him passing on and saying, people really want Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Let them have that, especially in our times. Go ahead.
I don't think, I'm going to reiterate, I don't think he's going to stop being Spider-Man. I think he's going to be Spider-Man till he's 90. But I think that he is I think Marvel, as Disney Marvel and Sony Marvel, are going to just disassociate with each other.
We've been talking about a lot about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but we kind of forget about Miles Morales and that possibly being something in the multiverse. Nobody's ever speculated any of that, but what happens if Miles Morales does show up in this movie?
You know what?
I will go nuts.
I would rather.
I think that it will happen.
Here's my hot take.
I'd rather him be introduced through the MCU Tom Holland universe, because I want them to because what I really liked is when I played the video game for Spider-Man and how they introduced Miles that way, where he's working for Feast. He's working with Aunt May, and he's a kid from the neighborhood that Peter knows. They've already set it up with the Childish Gambino as the Prowler, and he already mentioned how he's got a nephew in the city that he's trying to keep these guns off the street or whatever the case is.
That's true.
So I think it's perfect setup for this one, because that way, if Tom Holland does step away from the mantle, I think it'll be in good hands.
This could be the passing of the torch.
Yeah, I think fans would appreciate that.
I think Marvel wants to get people out of the Avengers mindset, and I think that's their goal. I think that's why we're gonna get Blade. We're gonna get Blade. You're gonna do Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not really. He's a late Avenger. He wasn't part of that whole story. So you're gonna get Spider-Man. I think Marvel is like, okay, you got to get out of this Avengers mode, because first of all, we can't keep actors that long. we can't keep people for 10 to 12 years.
They only make so many millions of dollars, right?
Well, you start looking like the girl who plays Sprite in Eternals. Like, how long are we going to keep her as Sprite?
She's not.
Don't spoil nothing. Everybody be quiet. Yeah. How long can we keep her as Sprite?
They can DH Samuel L. Jackson. Okay.
They'll kill her first.
Yeah, they can. So I think Marvel's trying to okay, everything's not going to be a continuous thing that ends in this. I think even the unfortunate, sad passing of Chadwick Boseman is like, we don't know what's going to happen. So to plan out so far, was great, and that's what makes Marvel unique. But we have to adapt to the circumstances and say, okay, well, how do we move?
Right.
That being, I don't know if whatever. I'm excited. I'm in. I like the Eternals. I'm in for everything.
If they do anything with Miles Morales, Sony's still involved. That's all I gotta say about that because of their deal. Anything,
No, of course.
anything Spider-Man
Of
is
course.
still Sony involvement. No matter what. So I just don't see a divorce there anytime soon.
Same.
Yeah, the money's too good. The money's too good.
Yeah, and they don't have to produce nothing. They're just distributing stuff. They're just like the drug dealers.
I knew you couldn't pronounce
Marvel's got to
Feige.
grow. Marvel's got to grow the crops and cut.
I knew you couldn't pronounce Feige, but I thought you'd be able to say distributing.
Distribution.
Distributing. Like I thought you'd be able to say it. And you fucked that up. And you over there
I
selling
did.
comic books.
I did.
Oh my god.
I did, but talking about
It
something
makes
else
you
that's
so bad.
fucked up right now is I'm trying to download Call of Duty Vanguard, and
Rich
this
probably
shit is
already
not
has
working, man. It's
Really?
taking me all day. I
Man,
downloaded and installed it.
you need to get off that Wi-Fi and put that landline in, dog.
It's
You
really
got a
pissed off
landline?
right
You
now.
got T3
Hold on, you play on Wi-Fi?
No,
Get that
I
Ethernet.
got-
Not
I gotta-
Ethernet. You know what I meant, Tarek. God damn it.
It's
playing on
connected.
Wi-Fi?
It's connected to the Ethernet. It's not that. It's not that. That's not the problem. The problem is
You
that
gotta put on
the game
dial-up, come on.
installs. The game installs, and then it's like, okay, it downloads, and it's okay, waiting to install. And I go to install it, and it says, oh, the game's not here. Go back to the store and download it.
Did you try to load up when the Migos was doing the presentation?
No, that's what it was. I was talking shit about the whole Migos thing, and that's probably why it doesn't want to work for me right now, because we had a better tournament than they did.
It's
At least
shut
more
down.
organized.
Well, that wasn't the bug. There was a little bug in the game there with the frames per second, but they fixed that.
Well, I got a freaking mongoose on my freaking PlayStation. Right, so that's what's going on right now.
So you haven't played Vanguard yet?
I haven't played Vanguard because it won't freaking load. It won't freaking.
Neither have
install.
I. I'm
I'm about to wipe my whole PlayStation.
I've been watching streams of it today.
I'm about to wipe my whole PlayStation just to make this motherfucker work right now.
They're already saying it's top 5 Call of Duty game.
Really?
Wow.
I hear a lot of people. I see a lot of people trashing it too.
I see
seen
people
that too.
trashing it too, but let's be
Speedy's
real.
only going to focus on who trashes things.
Yeah.
Let's,
Always.
let's just get that clear. Speedy's gonna.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Mr. Negative.
So, but Joey, you haven't played it?
No, not yet. All the guys on me and Rich's game chat were egging me on to.
And Rich,
Go and
you
get
played
it.
it?
Some dogs in the background.
You played it, Rich?
Yes, played it. I was playing the beta though. I
Good
told you
or
guys
eh?
what me.
Good or eh?
I'm not the
honest.
best person to ask. I'm not the
Be
best
honest.
person to ask because I'm not the one.
You played, bro.
Full disclosure, I hate World War I, World War II set games. Like I just hate that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Rich hates freedom.
I will say,
Freedom.
I will say
like
though,
freedom.
if the game is a lot smoother. It's I like the way they kind of mapped out the maps in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being like very flat, there's a lot of levels to it to where you can hide and stuff. I like the game so far. I wouldn't say top 5 best Call of Duties ever yet, but there's still a lot to go because we got to.
So should I just wipe my PlayStation and make this motherfucker work or what?
Yes, you should.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way,
Pretty sure.
I'm not crazy into video games, but I love Star Wars. But I read recently that Star Wars Rogue Squadron is delayed indefinitely. Is that true? You
The
guys heard
movie,
that?
the show? No, I haven't heard that. Really?
Yeah.
You know, they're making
That's
a new Rogue
upsetting,
Squadron.
man. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
Wow.
Is it made by EA though? That's the real question.
There was a rumor that this actor supposedly was going to be cast in episode 9. He was supposedly going to be cast as the Emperor's son. Did you guys see that?
I'm so tired of the
there was a-
Emperor.
You
and
mean
that.
the 2-second time that he was introduced?
I think so, or I
Ray,
guess.
no, Skywalker.
Ray's
Like-
father being
But like
for 2
an
seconds?
evil clone, younger Palpatine. That's what he was supposed to be. That was the rumor.
Man,
Like-
get Palpatine out of here
Yeah.
already.
Word, I'm so
bro.
tired of Palpatine.
Yeah.
He's one
He's
of
the
my
new
favorite.
Thanos.
I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure.
Yo,
I'm
Just
still
wait.
trying to figure out how he survived to be in the last movie.
Wow.
Retconning.
Dick Cheney hung around a long time.
Kelly Suarez Rex says she wants everyone to know that the Animal Crossing update has been fun.
Nice callback to last week.
And with that,
All right.
that's it for the show today, guys. 'cause
Yeah, I
Joey's
gotta
gotta go.
roll.
Joey, drop all yours so they can follow you, brother. Before you gotta go.
Graham, Twitter, Twitch at Joey Franchise.
Thank you so much, man. I'll see you, brother.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
See you, Joey.
Michaela, let everyone know how they can follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram at Mika Fig, and then on YouTube at Adult Adventure Time.
Mr. Tarek Lewis, sir.
I wish I could say Graham, Twitter, Twitch as fast as Joey did, but I can't. That motherfucker, his marketing is amazing. My name is Tarek on Instagram and YouTube. Don't follow me on Facebook. It's ridiculous.
Your daily questions, though.
Yeah, daily questions, though. It's crazy.
That's what I live for.
Yeah. Rich Ortiz, don't know how they can follow you, sir.
Yo, Graham, Twitter, Twitch, Richie _Ortiz.
Mr. Alto Games, Drew Tallman, how can they follow you, sir?
So Instagram, like Speedy said, Drew Tallman, all one word, and Twitch, Alto Games, ALTOGAME 2 Z's, and yes.
All right.
Because he sleep on every movie.
Oh.
You really catch up here, okay?
It was available.
You gotta talk to Joey about your marketing. Too much.
Oh, man. Make sure you follow me all socials at DJ Speedy JR. Follow us. Yeah. Follow us at Geek Culture Congress. Put them all together for Instagram. Separate them 3 words for Facebook. Give us a like, give us a follow. Listen to the podcast. Tell your smart device, Alexa, hey, play Geek Culture Congress podcast, and it will do it, okay?
Hey, listen, before we go, I'm gonna make this proclamation. I want someone out there, if I get a PS4,
I might give you mine because I'm getting pissed off right now.
What game do I start with? That's a recommendation. I'll put it out there. I listen to you. You fucking man, you out of your mind.
Rocket League.
We'll pick it up next episode. I want to know.
Rocket League and Spider-Man. There you go.
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood is good. I haven't played it yet, but I mean, yeah.
Back for Blood.
Been hearing good things.
Maybe I should have bought that instead of freaking Vanguard. Anyway.
Rocket League's free, though, and cross-play.
Tallman, do you even have to tell us if you've watched or played anything yet?
Yes.
This is going to be a great boxing match.
All right, guys. See y'all later. Have a good one. Geek Culture Congress signing off. Have a good one, guys. Be safe.